Yes. Yes, Kevin.
Yeah,
that is correct.
It's not actually the way her body moves into that position is significantly different than you push your hips in first.
Yeah.
We're leading with the body.
Do we want to talk about that back step?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It was smooth, like the way you pushed it.
You're an example. And turn and step, right? Just so you know, the other option here. I could just cross face plant, bring this foot in over the top, and sprawl out. That's also fine, requires less spinal attention. Yeah!
How are you today?
Good.
Good.
Super stoked. Couple days away.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, I just sat right.
We're obviously at elevation, no?
What? Not much. I don't think so.
No, only about 1,000 feet.
Yeah.
Nothing too crazy, huh?
No, my cardio's not good enough to claim I train at elevation.
All right. Who are we here with?
You are here with Jasmin Steiner, blue belt at Impact Ashland.
All right. And who is your professor?
My professor is Dan Walsh.
All right. And when did you start training jiu-jitsu?
I started training last March. So it'll be 2 years in 2025 in March. Yeah.
Okay. Well, welcome back.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. What's going through your mind midweek going into fight week?
I guess my whole focus is just having fun and reminding myself that this is something I enjoy. I have a mental performance coach, Aaron Hurley, and this whole year I've just been working on like the mindset behind competing and taking it all as data points. So for me, I'm like excited to get more data points so I can get back into practice and improve my game, because jiu-jitsu is a forever journey. And so everything I do, like when I put myself in these high pressure situations, I get these, like a deep list of data points that I get to go back and say, hey, I get to work on. So for me, I feel pretty good about it. Like I have learned to detach from outcomes and more like, I want to show up doing my best, whatever that looks like it is. But I'm like ready to do my best jiu-jitsu and take whatever lessons I need to take to keep being a better practitioner.
You're a blue belt. You seem to be in great shape and in great spirits. Where does the motivation to stay fit and compete come from?
Well, my motivation to stay fit has just kind of been my whole thing. I've been an athlete since 06. It's important for me to model that for my kids. My whole inspiration behind competing is I have always been a natural athlete, and my hiccup has been not pushing myself out of my comfort zone. And so I compete because I want to face myself. I want to face my hard truths, my limiting beliefs, any set things that I have unconsciously within myself that prevent me from being the best version of myself. I get to experience like that person on the mat. Like that whole lead up behind matches is like, am I good enough? Am I worthy? Or like all the things that like come into play of like being a winner and all the things. For me, it's showing up. It's doing the hard things, and that for me in itself is so invaluable.
Your match is in the gi.
Mm-hmm.
How comfortable are you in the jacket?
I train mostly gi. I love no gi, but you know, it's literally how I started. I was actually more like a gi. I'm like, I've been doing jiu-jitsu for 2 years, but I'm like, I was a gi girl, but you know, I appreciate both for the different things that I get from each. So I'm just as comfortable in gi as I am in no gi.
Besides jiu-jitsu, what does Jasmin do with her off time?
I am a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, and so that is what I do in my free time. They are in competitive sports as well, and so in the morning I'm training, then I'm doing schoolwork, and then I'm taking them to practice, and so a lot of it is, it's either them or me. Always busy.
Quick fire round. What's your favorite submission?
Armbar.
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie? Gosh, I'm not a big movie person, but if I had to choose a movie, this is like my last favorite movie, I'd probably say 300, because I have something for Spartans.
Why do you like to compete?
I like to compete because I like challenging myself. I like meeting other women. One of my favorite things about every match I've done is I've come away with new training partners, new connections, new friends, and that part in itself is like seeing that community build and creating like its own little tight-knit thing in a space where it's male dominated. It's like, this is cool. I get to like outreach and connect and do all the things, so.
Roll a Lot 5, Spokane, November 9th, Hub Sports Center. How does the match go?
So we're going like from takedown to finish type thing, however it goes. My goal with this match, I'm not going to jump ahead of myself because then I'm going to feel pressure and I'm not going to do that to myself. But what I want to focus on is being playful, is to not get tight and focus on like, I gotta keep control. It's like, let's just go, let's try this, let's try that, and just keep quick fire. That's like my goal. That's what I want to do. And so that's however I hope the match is I'm not going to be focused on doing things perfectly. I'm just going to do some shit.
Tell us something, anything, close us out.
It's not what you say you're gonna do, it's what you're actually gonna do that matters. So, do the shit, do the hard thing.
All right, we will see you November 9th, okay, Jasmin?
Yes, see you soon.
Thank you so much. How are you today?
I'm doing great.
All right, cool.
Chicken levels.
Here we go. We are so back. Professor Dan, what's up?
Not much, just getting ready for the next Roll a Lot competition.
How you been?
I'm doing good. Things have been busy. I've been doing another competition here and there and just staying busy at the gym.
You did Spokane submission series.
I did indeed. Got to do a match in a pit. Got my opponent out of there with a rear naked choke inside the time. It was a great time.
Give him a quick plug right now. So Roll a Lot 5, Spokane. You are going up against what is probably one of your toughest opponents on paper?
Yeah, no. Gustavo is definitely the most accomplished athlete I've ever been up against. I'm super excited to get in there and mix it up with him.
How do you feel?
I feel mildly anxious, but I always do, you know? So we feel prepared, ready to just try and not hesitate and do the things I know how to do.
Would you say your preparation is more mental or physical for this match?
That's a good question. I think a lot of it's mental. I think a lot of it is gathering the data on what's worked for me over the last year of being pretty competitive and doubling down on those things in my mind and knowing that I can do them when I need to do them. The physical right now is about just staying in good shape, getting hard rolls in from time to time so that my brain's ready for that fast action. But definitely the mental hurdle of competing against someone who's been training twice as long as you takes a little bit of work, and it's a fun challenge.
So on paper, they would say that you're the underdog.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think that's great. You know, that's definitely true. The betting odds don't line up with me, but underdogs win. Everybody loves a good underdog story. I've been an underdog before. When I fought in MMA, my opponent was a former heavyweight champion, and I was 0-0. It was his 9th or 10th fight, and I had never none. And we pulled that out, so I'm hoping the same thing happens here.
Dan, how would you describe your jiu-jitsu today?
Man, I like to think my jiu-jitsu is a mix of pressure and flow. You know, I try not to bite down too hard on things I don't have and move on to the next thing, but I also want to stick it when I know I have it, and make somebody wear themselves out trying to get out from underneath me. And on top of that, I like to play in positions where my opponent has very few options and I have the most options. So getting to places like a sideline harness, getting to places like the back, all very great. When that's all going wrong, I try to get as dynamic as possible. You know, see the last roll I had to finish with a flying Kimura because the guy just wouldn't give me what I wanted. And that's been true in a couple of matches this year where I've been down on points. I try and get as dynamic and movement based as possible to break free.
Win, lose, or draw on Saturday, what would you want the jiu-jitsu community to take away from your match this weekend?
You know, the big thing is you just say yes sometimes. But then if you do that, you got to ride it all the way through. It's easy to say yes on the outset when it's far away and seems like a good idea, and as it gets closer, the reality of what you're going to do when it's a big challenge kind of creeps up on you. But see it through until the very end. Keep the same confidence you had when you said yes all the way until it's over.
I've been a competitor since I've known you. Some would say a natural in competition. Where does the competitive drive come from?
Yeah, it's strange because I wasn't much of a competitor when I was younger in anything. I didn't really play any sports, but I was a performer. I played music, I did public speaking, I was in theater, and competition feels like performance, especially these kind of super fights or MMA or things like that where it's your time to try and go out there and do the best version of yourself in front of other people. And I really I get very focused in those moments, and I think the best parts kind of bubble to the surface. A lot of times in class you're thinking about how to improve something, you're not thinking about how to just do the very best version of yourself, and competition narrows that down and lets you focus into just one game.
Professor, you are an upstanding coach, professor, person in the community. It is always a pleasure. You are a dog for taking this match. Anything can happen Saturday. Close us out. The floor is yours. Tell us something. Anything.
That's way too open and I talk too much. But I'm just excited to be part of this promotion, be in this match. You know, you go to things like Worlds or Pans to hope to match up against somebody with the credentials that Gustavo has, and I get to skip the line and get right to it, and we get to find out what really happens.
November 9th, Spokane, Washington, Hub Sports Center, Roll a Lot 5. We will see you there, Professor.
See you there.
Puss.